Welcome to the highly anticipated interview between two basketball legends, Michael Jordan and Isiah Thomas. In the 90s, these two players were part of one of the most intense rivalries in NBA history. From the shot to the Jordan rules, their battles on the court were legendary. But today, we're not here to talk about their playing days. Instead, we'll be diving into a different kind of competition as Michael Jordan takes on Isiah Thomas in a no-holds-barred interview. The stakes are high, the tension is palpable, and the questions are tough, so buckle up and get ready for an unforgettable showdown between two of the biggest names in basketball. There are much fewer, if any, rivalries between players in this period than there were in the past, when there were rivalries like Bulls vs Pistons, notably Jordan vs Isiah. Normally rivalries run between 5 and 7 years, but the Jordan vs Isiah rivalry has lasted over 40 years, spanning the 90s, 2000 and 2010s, and the present day. And I would contend that it is entirely one-sided right now. And this particular moment, as I previously said, Thomas is the only one speaking, and since the release of The Last Dance in 2020, every 3 of 5 months Isiah Thomas brings about him and Jordan and their conflict. He even appeared on the All the Smoke show recently and was virtually pleading with Michael Jordan for an apology that he will never get any place publicly. I don't know, you shouldn't phone me secretly to apologise or to get your buddies to apologise, right? You denigrated me on live television before declaring your hatred for me. That was uttered by you on live television. Now if you intended it, admit it on live television and offer an apology. If you mean it, then leave it alone, he said. Stopping Isiah there, it is a little pitiful to witness a 61-year-old guy cling to a feud that took place in the 1990s. At this time, Isiah is preoccupied with two distinct issues. The first is Jordan calling him an a-hole in The Last Dance, and while Isiah Thomas on his own may take offense and outrage to this remark, if you watch The Last Dance, Jordan referred to Isiah as an a-hole about Game 4 of the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals, which was the final time he and Isiah participated in a playoff game. If you didn't know, the Bulls defeated the Pistons in this game and went on to win the series 4-0. Being the captain of Detroit, Isiah Thomas escorted his squad off the field before the clock ran out. Simply stated, Jordan's Bulls ultimately defeated Isiah's Pistons, who were enraged losers who intercepted Jordan. Whatever he says now, you know, when his two actions then, you know there's time to reflect on it, or the public's response that sort of altered his view on it. Yes, you are welcome to show me anything, you won't be able to persuade me that he wasn't a jerk, and although I may be prejudiced, I think Isiah's Pistons' decision to leave the floor with the remaining on the clock was a little a-hole. Not once did they leave the field early or refuse to shake hands after losing, as in the balls of the Pistons 3 consecutive years. In addition, Isiah Thomas was a jerk despite Jordan's endorsement of him as the greatest point guard of all time in the same radio tape. Like Isiah Thomas, Magic Johnson is just behind him. I appreciate his game despite how much I detested him. Both of the following statements about Isiah Thomas may be true at the time. Michael Jordan saw him as a battle player in 1990, but also believed he was an a-hole. I'm talking about the NBA's second best point guard ever. Putting aside that remark, Jordan's statement that he despises Isiah reverently has Isiah focused on something else. Despite their regard for you, not everyone aspires to be your friend or buddy. In addition, Michael Jordan, who is 60 years old, is not going to apologise to Isiah on national television for events that occurred in 1990. In contrast to Thomas, who at this stage seems desperate and very attention-seeking, Jordan's name is biting for headlines. I should also provide some perspective since Larry Bird detested the Detroit Pistons and Bill Laimbeer in particular. The point is that his teammates shared Jordan's hatred of Isiah as well. I'll say it again, it's okay for athletes and fans to be hostile to one another, and not everything is a friendly relationship, and as I just said, over the previous 5 to 7 years, Isiah has consistently gone viral with his opinions about Jordan and his entire game, compared to Jordan, who has mostly kept a low profile since The Last Dance in 2020. Everyone can probably agree at this time that this competition is mostly one-sided, with Isiah vying for Jordan's favour as well as attention. And from an outsider's viewpoint, I consider someone like Jordan. Why would he despise Isiah in 2023? The line, I think, a large reason why he does just is insufficient and needs further context to make sense. Because Mike is so fiercely competitive, hearing that LeBron James is the GOAT from Isiah Thomas of all people must irk him. Even Bill Laimbeer, who despises Jordan, thinks LeBron James is superior. It's not a coincidence that both of those men, Laimbeer and Thomas, believe LeBron is superior to Jordan. It is also very clear that both of these men still have resentment for Jordan and are using the GOAT argument as a pretext to attack him. Even worse than that, Isiah readily acknowledges that he is only LeBron James acting as a go-between to criticize Michael Jordan in terms of his ranks and all-time standings. The best example is Kareem. There has never been a participant in the game's history who attended elementary school. I don't believe he dropped a game. In high school and college, he only lost one game each. After entering the NBA, he goes on to win 6 championships and is the league's top scorer, rebounder and all-round player. You are aware that Kareem exists. Then there is the Jordan versus LeBron argument, and on any given night, who do you prefer? In my opinion, LeBron James is a better basketball player overall than Michael Jordan. Therefore, if I had to choose one over the other, I would choose LeBron James right now, since he outperforms Jordan in every area except scoring. He assists, gets everyone involved, is larger, quicker, stronger, and is now doing what he does best. Looking at Isiah Thomas right now, it's obvious that he is so enraged by Jordan that he would do everything to minimize and devalue him in terms of all-time rankings. He mentioned high school and college about Kareem's GOAT argument. Not college or high school, we're talking about the NBA and the best player of all time. And if we follow Isiah's reasoning and include college, wouldn't that automatically rank Michael Jordan ahead of LeBron James, given that he won the Naismith Award and the Wooden Award while playing for UNC, was Player of the Year and All-American and National Champion? If we follow Isiah's reasoning and rank Kareem number 1 of all time, wouldn't Jordan at the very least rank 2nd given his collegiate achievements? 1 minute of video has so many inconsistencies that my mind is spinning. And if you're wondering why there are so many inconsistencies, the answer is straightforward. Isiah Thomas dislikes Jordan regardless of what he says. The metrics become very intriguing when you contrast LeBron in his heyday as 2A peak against Jordan in his prime as 2AP on 50, 35 and 77 splits. LeBron averaged 26.9 points, 5.7 assists, 8.4 rebounds and 1.8 steals. Isiah Thomas has ruined Jordan's reputation in the previous 10 years on Undisputed, First Take and other podcasts. The fact that Isiah Thomas is exploiting Jordan's name to get influence and attention at this point is starting to seem sad and desperate. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the interview? Do you think Michael Jordan was too harsh on Isiah Thompson? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, stay updated, and if you have any ideas on future videos, let us know. Always appreciate feedback.